You're right there, my name's Brian Joe. Today we've got some naughty skirting that we need to sort out, so we're going to be spending all day in the bathroom, like the no spray, no lay man. And here's why. Very bad skirting down here. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite a bit of damage there. Runs up around there. So what we're going to do, we're going to scrape off some of that. I'm going to make it look nice. So we're going to get this looking nice and pristine as this Christmas coming up. Ladies, let's face it, you'll be spending most of the time next to the toilet bowl, as you know you don't handle that drink that well. To be fair, there is some women that can hold their beer, so you know, that's a nod to you. That wasn't a disrespect to you lot, right? And to be fair to fellas, let's just face it, they're just in the middle of the street or anywhere. I remember my brother, right? I'm going to go with Angela's ashes. I remember when I had to share a room with my twin and my cousin. And I was 16 and I got woken by, let's just face it, a big load of shit hit me right in the head. I tell you, that was one of the most disgusting fist fights we got into. So, I don't want to talk about it. I know you should forget. The thought of it makes me angry, right? Let it go, let it go. Right, we're going to be using some Gorilla Foam today. Because down here, it's right tail away, the floorboard. We're going to use this, we're going to spray it down there, I'm going to show what to do. And then what we'll do, we're going to put poly filler, some wood filler back on the skirting. Make it look nice and all that. And then we're going to paint it with gloss. And we're going to get it looking fancy down, alright? Like and subscribe. My name's Brian Joe. Can I just say, right, this is a shout out to the moth community, yeah? You're well out of order, yeah? And I was a moth ally as well. They just went to town on my £200 Lacoste wool jumper. Right, for people outside London, it's like a wool, yeah? Like cotton wool, mill wool, you know? And they just ate it, mate. So I'm going to go down to the local light shop where you all hang about, and I'm going to chuck a box of spiders in there, yeah? Well out of order, mate. We're not allies no more. You're done, mate. You're done. We're going to start here. We're going to get the old mastic caulking out of here. Just rip it up, whatever. These are great, these little scrapers, because you bang in there and scrape out stuff. See, look, this is how badly damaged the wood. The wood's got really, you can see it puffing up and all that. It's really bad. Right, as we're not going to be replacing this, yeah, so be quite delicate with it, yeah. Just get bits off it, because otherwise you could really go to town and you could really rip it off. I mean, yeah, you could probably do with replace it, but unfortunately, you can't need that done. This is more for your DIY, you know. So, but what we want this stuff out. So we're going to get the old caulking out. Just get it in. Don't worry too much about the bottom of it, because what we're going to do, we're going to polyfiller that, and we're going to use some expanded foam, because as you can see down here, it's quite rotten away there. Yeah, it's not in good form at all. It's a sure shame, man. There's nothing like working next to the toilet as well. Toilets are like their own delicatessen, you know what I'm saying? Filled with wonders. Saying that, did you know that most toilets are actually cleaner than a high street chicken shop? Who would have thought that, eh? Yeah, me neither. So, get all that crap out. Right, can you see inside there? Right, what we're going to do, we're going to put some Gorilla Foam in that, so we're going to expand it in there. So just give it a base, so when the water does come back, because it's a bathroom, it's always going to be wet, it's above a sink, there's always going to be water eroding on this. So we're going to put some expanding foam here, Then we're going to put some, what's it called, anti-damp proofing gloss on that as well, just to give it that extra coating, extra protection. Yeah, so just get all that old rotten crap out, unfortunately. Got the decay, man. Such a gutter. All these houses now, just everything. Right, you can see that old bit of mastic, caulking, or whatever you want to call it. I call it mastic, people call it caulking. We could get that out as well. No, but realistically, you're not going to be able to straighten the floor, so you're going to have to do something about this. And realistically, this is just the cheaper option. Bit of Gorilla Foam. Gorilla Foam, it's probably the most fun you can get for £7. I'm surprised people don't use that stuff on Halloween. I mean, you know, spraying that through someone's door, or just shaking up the can and chucking it at a bus. I mean, thoughts are endless. Children have no sense of imagination now because of social media. Really terrible. I really do think that, yeah. So look at that. Look at the gap between there now. Mental. Can you see that? It's probably like half an inch into there now. This bit's solid, so that's okay. Just this bit. Even that bit, it's just the bottom here, so the water's just all the way going down here. Right, so we're going to get some suspending foam. Okay, so this is the Gorilla Foam. You get it off Amazon. I think you get a pack of 2 of them for about £7. I mean, I've got the Gorilla one. I'm sure they do other things. I'm not sponsored by Gorilla. I wish I was. No. Right, so what you undo. This thing is a plastic tube, so it bends in. Get it down there. See that? Just squeeze the button like an aerosol can. So yeah, so you spray it down and then it all expands up like that. It's a bit like shaving foam. So what you do, just let that dry. Once that dries, what we'll do, we'll scrape it off. It'll become like, do you know that stuff? It's styrofoam. So as you can see, the foam has dried hard. I've given it a couple of hours because I was in between doing other stuff anyway, so give me an opportunity. But you can, because otherwise sometimes it can be a little bit gooey inside sometimes. So, you know, it's like giving a cake or whatever. Bake it to the proper time. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to use this scraper. I'm going to scrape it off. So you just want to scrape all that big stuff off it, yeah? Because we don't need it. Like that. Like I said, like styrofoam. So what's it done there? It gives us a nice little base to work on down there. I'll push some more in there. And if you can, just stuff a little bit more down there. You want it flush, most of it's flush. Ideally, you can give it 24 hours just to lay or whatever. I know sometimes we haven't always got the time, we don't always have that luxury, you know. So just do the best you can. So that's all down like that now. We will put mastic down there. We'll put caulking along that eventually. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some wood filler down there. I'm going to put some wood filler here. So as you can see what the foam has done, look, it's built a base there. That was hollow before. So what we've got a little base here. and I want you to use, I'm going to use this amount of wood filler, and I'm just going to build back kind of a skirt, yeah, along there. So like this, I'm going to build back like that, then we're going to let that dry. As you can see, we're going to polyfiller this stuff, and this is my favourite polyfiller. This is for the wood filler, it's 2-pret. You don't need to add any glue to it. I'm not going to show you mixing it up. I've already got videos of me mixing up polyfiller. I'm not going to bore you to death with it. I'll just show you, that's my favourite polyfiller. Apparently that was Pablo Escobar's favourite polyfiller too. Apparently he was a really big polyfiller fan. If you went around his ass, he used to do Friday night parties with bowls of polyfiller around his gaff. He had 2 bowls of polyfiller in his bedroom and stuff. That's how much he loved polyfiller. And he loved that 2-pret. French. You know the French have all got a little bit of class, haven't they? So what we're going to do, just going to put the wood here. What we do, we don't want to cake this stuff, because I'm not going to lie, it's quite, it's not the nicest to sand off. So we're going to try to get as close to the finished product as we can when we're putting it on. And what we'll do the first layer. If we need to do a second layer, we'll do a second layer. Oh, my knees, man. My legs are sore. Leg day, you know. I feel like an obese geezer sitting down. You see that obese geezer who tried to allegedly kidnap this morning presenter? Did you see him? He's a morbidly obese geezer and it's setting out. Oh, there's no way he was going to do it. He'd have to walk at least about 20 miles or something. I mean, I think he's a hero to the obesity community. This fight, he would have got down the stairs of his flat and he would have said, alright, let's call it a day, we'll maybe do it tomorrow. I don't believe they even taken that serious. Mental, absolute mental. Yeah, well done to it. Well, you know, so well done to it. Body positive, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I mean, I'm not into the kidnapping, but you know. But when you're obese, why not? Do positive stuff, get you out of the ass, you know what I'm saying? Get you moving, that's what it's all about. Right, so what we're doing, we're just building a nice little foundation there. So it goes along here as well. Take a bit off that. This stuff does dry hard. That's a decorated mix on them thing. Quality street boxes or heroes or celebrity things you want to call them. And with the foam, you've got a nice little sturdy base where you would polyfiller to sit on top of. What we're going to do now, we're going to probably leave that, we'll get that a day to dry. Because it's getting quite cold and it's a bathroom, these things don't dry quick, so we want them hard, rock hard. Next thing we do. And then the next thing what we'll do, we'll sand them down, we're getting them nice and smooth. And we're going to put some damp proofing paint on it. Got some good stuff as well. So Zinza stuff. Never lets you down, trust me. Right, don't play with it too much, I get crazy with this stuff. Come back, if we need to do 2 layers, we'll do 2 layers. Right, so I've actually given this a day to dry now. It's dry. The reason this is, I'm not going to lie, it's freezing in here. The pipe, because where this bathroom's situated, behind there is the outside wall. and it's blocked, and so all the cold water. Remember, we've got Storm Kieran in here. So that's blocked. It's just water's keeping it. It's freezing, it's cold, so it's taking a while. That's why I've given that 24 hours for the polyfiller to dry. We're gonna give a bit of light dusting now. Don't go crazy with it. Give it a light dusting, because what we're gonna do anyway, we're gonna put silicone down the bottom of it. So we want that, we want the base still there. We just want to keep it flat, just so everything sits nicely. And then when we paint on it as well, I'm gonna paint that anti-damp proofing paint on it too. Yeah, it is freezing. Light dusting. Just want to get that top layer off. And you'll find this in most bathrooms are quite damp anyway, just because there's a lot of cold, there's a lot of water running through the pipes and everywhere. Yeah, give it a light dusting, mainly down here. Main bulk of it off. This is why you don't want to put too much filler in the first place. You don't want too much of it. Sand off. Yeah, just get it nice and smooth. What I'm doing, I'm going to get a hoover and just quickly get that quick clean. Right, that's flat. Like I said, we don't want to go too tan on it because we're going to put silicone on it as well. Right, so we're going to masking tape the skirting because we're going to paint it. Right, number one, just make sure the surface you're going to be masking tape is dry, so the masking tape sticks to the area. I know that sounds really basic, but trust me, it caught me out just a minute ago, and I'm not afraid to admit it, right? I'm ashamed. Right, next, get your masking tape, and then figure out the line we're going to do. Right, this is going to get siliconed here, so we're going to start the masking tape here, because we don't have to get paint on that. So what we're going to do, we'll follow that edge there. So you start at the top bit here, where my right hand is, or left hand on the camera. So it'd be here, and you work your way down the line. And then you stick it. I'll rip that bit off and follow it along. And because we're going to be painting on the top of the skirting, best thing to do, get a bit of masking tape, rip it off in advance. And same thing, find a line where you're going to start from. So where my top left hand is, want it there, just follow it along, top of the skirting bit, the ridge, so that protects your wall from your paint. So what I'm using the Zinza. It's a damp proofing stain blocker, yeah, because it's gonna still get water in it, because like I said, it's a bathroom. So what we do, put the stain blocker on, give it a good stir, the stain blocker. This stuff is a bit treacly, yeah, just give it a good stir. And we'll put it on. It's funny, but this paint's so good. It actually looks better than the gloss sometimes, as you can see even by putting it on it. Now for the purpose of the video, I wasn't going to paint the whole thing, but if you're at home and it's your skirting, paint the whole skirting, yeah? Also, let's start from the top and work your way down because you don't want drips. And we are going to put silicone at the bottom as well. So we get it all. So it'll be definitely worth it. It'll preserve your skirting as well. Like I said, a lot of this stuff will save you money in the long run. It's not just for aesthetics, look pleasing on the eye, you know? It's just like, this will save you a few quid, save you having to call someone in the future to do this, because your skirting should rot away. Plus, you know, you start getting all them smells, damp, broken wood and stuff, you know. And then you get insects, termites, whatever lives around here, and aardvarks, stuff like that. Seen that Terry, what's his face? Terry. No, Terry, I can't remember his name. I don't know, they don't do wildlife, bro. Who's his? David Attenborough. Alright, so what we do, we'll let that dry after, and then we'll put you put your gloss on there if you like. Good thing is this, it's nearly as good as the gloss, if not better. But you wait till that dries, that will dry lovely and hard. And it'll look 100 times better, won't it? It already looks 100 times better than that rotten away skirting. I guarantee anyone living in a house these days, if it's not a new build, it's got some sort of skirting problems. Right, give that a crack over the weekend, whenever you get the chance. Don't leave it too long. The longer you leave it, worse it will become. It's like teeth, dental problems, just like health, it's general health. This is like a general health, mental health channel now, okay? So please like and subscribe. As you can see, paint's dry now. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put some silicone just along that line now, just to make it a little bit nicer. We've got the masking tape there, we're gonna keep the masking tape there, we use it as a line. I'm gonna go across like that, okay? This is just to give it that extra protection from the damaged water, you know. Alright, so we're going to start here underneath the toilet and we're going to work our way down. We're going to give this little tool a little crack. Let's give it a go and see how it goes. Like I said, wet cloth, dry cloth, right? Right, so what you want to do with the gun, you want to give it a couple of pumps and then it will start coming out, okay? So give it a squeeze, you'll see it start coming out the tube. Remember, I had that nozzle pointing down where you want to go. Right, don't go too crazy with it. Can you see it? It's starting to come out. Going along. Alright, press that button, that stops all the mastic coming out. Right, this is where you get the dry cloth, wipe that away, and just rest it on the wet one, right? So you can see, so we're going to use this tool now, we're going to come down and see how it get on with it, okay? So here, there it goes. As you can see with the tool goes like that, and then it goes along. I don't look too bad. Right, we're going to go along the rest of the way. Crack. It's not too bad, but what it does is sometimes it leaves a bit there. So what you need, get a wet cloth and just run your finger over it. Just move it down. That's where you want, like a wet cloth. It takes away that rough looking edges. Let's move it along. I mean, it's all right. You do feel like you're going over a little bit of work with it. If you're going to use it, what you want to do, if you're going to follow guidelines, maybe you can masking tape above as well. Right, so that's the finished, all looking nice, pristine again for Crimbo, alright? Give it a shot. Don't let all that rotten wood, don't let it devalue your house. Just don't let it devalue your property. Just don't make your property look horrible. Obviously, you know it's like when that rotten stuff took your toilet, and if you've got men around, you know it's going to start smelling like. Yeah, so get it done. My name's Brian Joe, please like and subscribe. And go out and do it. I can do it, you can do it, right?